Hi guys, we're back here with my friend Julie Zara. Say hi, Julie.
Hi, everyone.
And so yeah, just why don't you tell people? I always said when I was interviewing Bill Schomburg a couple of people ago, I said, well, I know how I know you, but let me hear how you think you know me.
Yeah.
You tell people how we know each other.
Okay. Well, I met you, Heather, at Hope Church when Brett and I started and our family started attending in 2008. And I didn't know you, but I obviously knew who you were. You're the pastor's wife. And then I remember when we sang in the choir together, and I forget who took a picture of you and I, and they were like, you guys look like sisters.
I probably had my
we,
short hair at the time.
Well, no,
Okay.
I think I had long hair. This is the shortest I've ever had my hair.
My hair used to be that short, not just cancer times, but like before that, I loved it.
Yeah, it was short. So it was, but it wasn't, and yours was, and mine was longer. I probably had my hair extensions then. Who knows? My hair, I go from one thing to another. But anyway, so yeah, and they took a picture of us. They were like, you guys could be sisters. I'm like, oh,
yeah, thanks.
Yeah. So then we became friends. I mean, just after went out to dinner with you and Blake, and so
yeah, it's been a good journey with us. Well, why don't you tell everyone kind of one of your favorite posts, and we'll kind of talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Well, I brought the book with me because I, wanted to remember the date, but it was May 2015 on May 4th, and it was Bad Hair Day. And how, well, first of all, I had no idea, you had all that beautiful hair like you do now, and being in the hospital and ICU, had no idea why you shaved your head other than thinking it was from chemo, that your hair was all falling out, but actually it was from being in ICU. And after 9 days, you had dreadlocks. So it was,
not good dreadlocks either.
No. So you had to shave your head because you couldn't comb it. Bottle of conditioner didn't work. You had to shave it. So that was, out of Britney Spears. Did she, is that why she shaved her? She had dreadlocks? No. Remember, it wasn't out of anger. It wasn't out of rebellion. It was necessity. It was like, let's just get rid of it. Yeah. Kind of freeing. I think that's why I wear this. It is.
Yeah, I wore a wig recently to a Halloween party. I was Uma Thurman, and I had a black wig, and it happens to be a wig I had while I had leukemia. But as you were talking about in your blog, though, I didn't always wear wigs because there were some benefits.
Yeah, I mean, it's easy to fix, but what I really related to, and it made me open my eyes to people, because you said, on the days I didn't wear a wig to the store, going out when you could get out and out of your house, just how people treated you differently when they saw that you had a cap on, and that you had cancer. It's obvious, and why we can't be that way towards everyone, because we are all sick inside. We're all sick, we're all broken. I mean, that's who we are. And so when we see people who have a disability or cancer, we are nicer. And why is it? Or we just look the other way. Sometimes we avoid them.
Yeah, maybe.
Depending on what we're going through, but it really related to me that I need to treat everyone as if they're sick, because I'm sick too. And if someone comes back at me, if they're, you go through a checkout line and the person working isn't very friendly, not to be like, gosh, just be like, something's going on in their life. I can't see it. They don't have a shaved head. They're not in a wheelchair. They're not using a cane or crutches or whatever, but just remember, everybody has a story and everyone is broken. So smile, maybe that could.
Or I was going to say, I love this quote. I'm trying to remember where I even read it now, but one of the little books I read all the time, but it said there's always one fact more in every person's situation, that if you knew it, you would suspend judgment.
Yes.
I've seen that in real life. I've seen it in movies and things where they just show this person's got some serious character defects, but then they kind of go back in time and show you what happened to them when they were younger or in a bad
Yes.
relationship. And all of a sudden your anger at this person and your disgust turns to
Yes.
compassion.
Yes.
And everybody has those facts that are hidden from us, but have formulated their personalities, their fears are coming out sideways. They don't have Jesus. They don't have maybe a program or whatever it is that they
Right.
need to get better. They don't have it yet, and they're not healed. So if we can treat people as if they're sick,
Yes.
instead of just annoying or infuriating or stupid or ignorant, all
Yeah.
the things that we tend to label people when they're doing things we don't like, how much
And
better.
I've used this a lot, even with my kids, when they were young and they would come home and so is really mean to me today. And, so a lot of times, because I live in Sherman and kids go to Williamsville, very small community, I usually knew, and I taught at Williamsville for a while. So I usually knew what was going on in their family. And so when they would talk about that person, I would say, you know what, let me just tell you that their home life is not good right now. So instead of looking at that as them being bullying, they have no control. So when they come to school, they're angry and they're going to take it out on whoever they can, who the weakest. So instead of, coming back, pray for them. They don't have Jesus in their life, or they're just angry. So this is why, so we have to remember everybody's hurts, and hurt people. And one of my favorite phrases.
Yep.
So it just to change the perspective, but also for myself as well. But I think it's a good lesson for our kids, just to be reminded that we don't always see what's going on inside of themselves. We can't see on the inner. So just to be cautious of that and respond with love and grace.
All you can do is control your part in it, keeping your side of the street clean.
Yes.
Just be compassionate, understanding, and praying for other people is
Amen.
It's easier said than done, but that's why I've jokingly said I read my own book, because I read it and think, oh yeah, I totally forgot I'm supposed to be, or I don't know, supposed to, but this is the way I want to live, and this is the way I know. Obviously I know better. It's just sometimes harder to do better just because you know better, but at least some tools I have to keep going back to and reminding myself what I believe in, and to act in that vein.
And I love that. I love that you can go back, because we all, trip up. We're on a right path, and, we think we're doing good, and then something happens and boom, we're just right off that, narrow pathway. So we have to remind ourselves, and even though you've lived it and you wrote it, it's still, you're still human.
Yeah.
So,
it leaks. What do they say? Leadership leaks. Knowledge leaks. You have to refresh. Reading it one time is not enough. Writing it apparently is not enough to help you remember it. I just did an interview with someone right before this, and she said, yeah, remember when you wrote this blog about this? And I was like, no, I couldn't remember the exact things actually. So, sometimes
a lot of them, like you said, I have chemo brain, I have the fog, so I always think how much of it, which is so, like, you were just putting it down. And so, you go back and you're like, gosh, because you didn't remember a lot of being in the ICU, right? So I'm sure a lot of it, you go back and go, wow.
Yeah. And I think I have almost 400 blog posts. So, I do remember most of them actually, but which is probably kind of weird too. But there's a few things. God just keeps giving me more material. And it was funny because with my new book, I write a lot about control and my issues with control, with trying to control people, places, and things that aren't my business. And when I asked my husband to read my book to help me edit it, it's designed to read one blog post at a time and kind of think about it, hopefully try to do something different or something with it, not just sit down on the beach and read the whole thing in a weekend and never think of it again. But he read it all in a couple of days, or at least a good chunk of them. And he was like, yeah, you have some pretty serious control issues. I didn't realize how serious this was till every other blog talks about control. I'm like, we're not supposed to read it all at one time.
Right. But hey, that's at least you're containing your control. I mean, he's not seeing that. You may feel
right. Yeah,
that.
at least he had to read about it. He did it like in general sense. My
right. He wasn't like, yeah,
controlling.
I know all about that. Yeah. I wonder if I wrote a
Good
book
point.
with Brad.
I like that.
Yeah. Brad might be like, knew about that. Yeah. Right.
Like finally
knew about it.
You finally understand and you're right about it. Woo. Finally,
I'm glad you're now seeing it.
Yeah,
the way
I'm glad
I
you're
see
finally
it.
aware and I didn't have to say it myself. So
exactly. So see, you're doing a good job controlling your control issues.
Yeah. Yeah, that there's something in that. I might have to write about that. Controlling my control issues. Well, thanks for visiting with me today. I wish I want to do these again and do them longer, because everybody I talked to were like, we could talk about this for hours or something, but maybe not.
No, well, I'm just, you know what, to see you here and that you're still with us and doing amazing God's work with what, you experience, right? That's what we're called to do. Use our brokenness and our testimonies to help others, bring them to Jesus. And, so thank you for doing that. Thank you for being raw and authentic and sharing with us. Makes us feel more normal.
Anything I can do to make others feel okay, I'll put so I said in my book somewhere, if I have to embarrass myself or tell on myself and so that others feel like they're not alone, so be it, because that's really the goal, is to know we're doing this together. So
well, you accomplished that, so thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Julie. Thanks for joining me today, and I will talk to you soon.
All right, Heather.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.